to Plymouth Ice Center. No neutral site games in section play this year in boys hockey, but a great one here for the Section 6AA Championship. The number 4 seed, Benilde-St. Margaret's Red Knights, against the number 2 seed, the Wayzata Trojans. Hi, I'm Jay Wilcox along with Dan Ficken. And Dan, fair to say both these teams playing pretty well coming in. Wayzata 5-0-1 down the stretch. Ran away in the third period to beat Edina 8-2 in their semifinal. Meanwhile, Cretin-Durham Hall, 3 straight shutouts, and all they did was knock off the top seed Cretin 4-0 in their semifinal.
Yeah, they really came out and played hard. In the last 3 games, Benilde's really picked it up because they were 5-5 in the last 10 games. But they also got 3 shutouts, so they're playing really good defense for what we know is an offensive powerhouse usually when they hit the ice. Wayzata has been consistent all year, really put it together the other night against Edina. I mean, you don't see Edina get beat 8-2 all the time. Pat O'Leary's got his kids ready to play.
These teams, ironically enough, did just play a couple weeks back with Wayzata pulling out a 4-2 win late. It was close. It was 2-2 till very late in that game. Both teams came away from that game feeling confident, I think, into the section final. Even though they lost, Ken Pauley, the Benilde coach, said, we did not feel bad about it. We stayed right with them. We felt like it was a game that could go either way, and that's kind of the way both teams look at this coming in.
Yeah, exactly. And then what I like is the fact, I mean, we know Wayzata's got a great schedule with the late conference, but you know, Benilde put a good schedule together too, and lately they've been playing Eden Prairie, Edina, Hill Murray, St. Thomas Academy. Boy, that's a heavy load to play, but they got better. Benilde got better, and Ken Pauley, the coach, is very happy about it, and they feel they got as even a shot as anybody to win this thing.
There you see the all-time series is 9-8-1. Benilde leading it. They're 2-2 in playoff meetings as these teams, 4 state tournament appearances for Benilde and 5 for Wayzata total. One of them is going to go back as you look at Coach Pauley, who ironically enough is a Wayzata graduate, 1982 Wayzata grad. Let's look at key players to look at in today's game. Starting with the Red Knights, and Jackson Bassan will center their first line. Talented player and a guy that they're really looking to for some leadership tonight, as well as you know, you need guys that are able to come through in these kind of big games, and they're hoping their first line of a couple of seniors and a junior can do that.
Well, you know, he's had a really good year. What I particularly like about his numbers is he's got 15 assists. He's a distributor, which means he makes other people around him better. Not necessarily scoring the goal, but setting up the scoring goal is really important, and he does that very well. And he's got an elegant skating look to himself, and he's a real leader on the team. He'd be a good one to watch tonight.
And for Wayzata, we're going to talk about one of their juniors who played well against Benilde the first time around. A couple of goals. He also had a goal and an assist Saturday in that win over Edina. Gavin O'Connell has had to kind of step up a little bit too. Jake Keller is out with an injury, so they're looking for even that little extra more from Mr. O'Connell.
Well, and he's playing center right now too. And in these games, boy, I'll tell you, face-offs time and again, we've seen how important they are, and he's a good one at it. His numbers are good again. I like that 16 assists. I mean, he's moving the puck around and kind of floating in and getting it used to it and being part of the team here and doing well.
Interesting, both coaches kind of said they actually like the fact that we're in a regular arena because there's so much downtime sitting, waiting for games and getting nervous and looking up at the ceiling at Mariucci. So even though they're the visiting team, Benilde doesn't mind it too much, and obviously Wayzata likes the home cooking here at Pick. We should have a great one here for the Section 6 Championship. It is Benilde and Wayzata coming up in just a moment on CCX. A lot of excitement in the air here at Plymouth Ice Center for the Section 6AA Boys Hockey Championship. Jay Wilcox, Dan Ficken with you here on CCX Sports as Benilde and Wayzata get set to tangle here in this 6AA tournament. It was Benilde over Hopkins in the first round and then shutting out Cretin-Durham Hall in the semis. Wayzata beating Holy Angels, and then 8-2, a little deceptive maybe. That game was closer for quite a while, but still they put up 8 and got running time against Edina in the semifinal matchup to advance on. So both teams very much deserving of being here at this point. And we'll get a look at our goaltenders, and both very good and a little different in that you got a very experienced one in net for Benilde and Carson Limesand, and Will Ingeman, the sophomore, in goal for Wayzata. But they both had very strong seasons. Ken Pauley was interesting. He said Carson, he feels, is as good as any goalie in the state, but he's been a little bit inconsistent. He's playing very well right now, but he said, when he's sharp, he's as good as anybody around. And here we go. We are underway here as the Red Knights control the opening draw. Ben Thompson back to pick it up. Swings it around, banked out to center, but then chipped back in. Gathered up there by Tristan Sarsland. He'll float it across, trying to find Adam Marshall. And this one whistled down at the blue line. We'll get an early face-off coming up here.
Well, it's kind of fun seeing some heavyweights here in the hockey world of Minnesota playing each other. It promises to be a good game. Both teams' stats look pretty similar to each other. It's going to be who can perform in the power play, what goaltending they get, and no turnovers.
Check thrown there. Fought off pretty well by Carson Peters, but still they got in after him. Both teams, I think, really talking about wanting to stay out of the box. I mean, that, I guess, to a certain degree goes without saying that you don't want to be shorthanded, but I think in this game maybe more important than ever. Here's a shot on, and Limesand able to make the stop. Jake Schneider coming up the right wing and put one on net there for the Trojans, and we'll get a draw in the BSM zone.
Well, I would guess that Wayzata is going to get physical. They've got 11 guys in their team that are over 6 foot. Benilde's only got 6, so the size could be a factor here.
We were kind of asking Coach O'Leary, Benilde's reputation over the years has been a real freewheeling team that likes to score a lot, maybe not as attention to detail defensively. Yep. And this year down the stretch, I mean, they've been shutting people out, and you're asking Pat O'Leary, have they really changed a lot or just how it is? And he said, well, part of it's just having a really good goaltender. He said, I don't know that they're necessarily a lot different, but they've been really buckling down defensively in the playoffs especially. Gavin O'Connell picking it up here for Wayzata. O'Connell on the move, able to chip it in deep here as they go and chase. Solid hit thrown there by Drew Streeter. And O'Connell knocked down. Chopped loose again. Red Knights able to get it out, but grabbed up at center by Mason Morey. And now the rush back the other way. James Callahan carrying for Benilde. Nice shot fake there. Callahan going to the net. And they try and jab it in. It went in, but no goal.
Goal came off.
Yep, net is off. Benilde standing there looking at the puck cross the line, but waved off immediately. No goal. As a great rush there by Callahan, the defenseman, nearly led to the first goal of the game.
Look at how tight he gets in here, and then watch more red bodies start showing up and hawking away there. And boy, that was a great move, but the defense fell down. Oh, that was interesting. Oh, sitting right behind him.
Yeah, pretty obvious, I think, that the net did come off beforehand, and it was really knocked off by a Benilde player as well. So they would like to have had that goal, but I think a pretty fair call to not be awarded a goal. Drew Getz pass, getting off the stick of Cole Sauer there. Here's an opportunity. Limesand the save, big rebound, and it's in. Trojans are on the board as Cole Sauer knocks the rebound home. And Wayzata, shortly after BSM nearly got one, is on the board.
Third line coming out for the Trojans and producing big time. Just both teams doing a great job of crashing the net and going for it. Cole Sauer finally gets one behind Limesand, and they got a 1-0 lead right now. And the funny thing, Wayzata, they do want to get the lead. They like making you chase because then they can play their trap game, their good defensive game. But you see a good shot right there, but the rebound came off at a really, not a bad angle, but the guy was there to plunk it in.
Here's a chance the other way. Oh, and a big stop by Ingeman. Kason Sauer will get the lone assist on that shot from the point. So Cole Sauer getting it for the Trojans. And then Benilde came back with a rush of their own, and Engelman had to stand tall. Boy, if the early going's any indication, Dan, we are in for a really good one.
It's going to be, like I like to say, fire wagon hockey. Here we go.
Marshall with the backhand. Engelman just fighting that one off as there was a bit of net to shoot at there as well.
Boy, Benilde is being extremely aggressive in the attack zone.
Puck stays right in the circle there. Red Knights able to come up with it there. Thompson taking a hit, but got it over to Sarsland. Bank pass just missing there. And picked up by Cashin Nave. Pat O'Leary said oh, here's an opportunity for 2-on-1. Streeter walks in. Limesand denies him.
Limesand got out on the crease there and cut down his angle. Did a nice job to stop that shot.
Defenseman back pretty much had to say, Carson, you take him, I'll play the pass.
Yep.
And that's exactly how it worked out. It was the right play to shoot, no doubt.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
Flip right back out of there. I was going to say, Pat O'Leary was saying that, he knew what he had with Carson Peters anchoring the D, but Reese Gardner, Cashin Nave, and Justin Lesser, a couple of juniors and sophomores, he said they have really progressed from day one till now, and it's made him feel really good about his D-core right now.
Yeah, Lesser's really come on as a sophomore, and he's big, he's brawn, he's got some range, and they've been really solid.
Miles Dietz kind of running that D-core and making the changes defensively for the coaching staff there. That one thrown in wide. Trojans looking for an opportunity to come back the other way, but dropped away from Drew Getz, and out of play it goes. We'll have a draw coming up. 13:06 to go. There's a look at Pat O'Leary, Trojans head coach, and obviously he's done a great job with this program kind of every year now. They're, if not in the section final, at least kind of in that mix and contending.
Pat's got this amazing ability with his system and stuff to get these kids ready to go by playoff time. This season's, he likes it, but this is where he really gets paid the big bucks. Does a great job with playoff hockey.
Pass misfired there, and it's an icing call. And there's a look at Ken Pauley, who is fifth among active coaches in career wins. I mean, he has had a great run at Benilde. He briefly left to go to Minnetonka and then came back to Benilde. And they've been in the state tournament 4 times, Dan. They've won at 3 of those 4. Now, granted, 2 of them were in Class A, not to downplay that, but it's a little different. And then they got that AA title in 2012. So when they've had their best teams, they've really come through and not just gotten there, but won championships.
And that's one of the reasons you're looking at on the screen there. He's a tremendous hockey coach, really a good guy, delight to talk to, just loves coaching, just loves it.
Entertaining guy, and he'll tell you the truth, too, about his team.
Oh, yeah, he will.
A lot of coaches are just, a little more tight-lipped about stuff, but not him. He'll let you know what he thinks about it.
And sorry, Wayzata fans, we're not going to share that with you.
Tipped over to the corner, and that pass intercepted. Here comes Bisson back the other way, leading a possible 3-on-2. They mishandled a little bit. Chipped in on net. Engelman the save, and then the centering pass broken up. And it'll trickle back out to center where Callahan plays it across. Radiakis carrying it ahead, but denied there, and it's back into the Benilde zone. That one thrown over the top of the net there by Dylan Lewis as Wayzata is finishing a change. Yakish carrying it ahead, and it pops past Drew Stewart. Fast pace to this one, not that we expected anything different. Red Knights now putting on a little pressure as they get set up in the offensive zone, and that shot attempt deflected and picked off. Here comes O'Connell. O'Connell leading the rush for Wayzata. Throws it on. Limesand gave up a rebound, and then it's pushed back out. Going to be icing against the Red Knights there as they just had to get a quick clear. That shot kind of looked like it, I don't know if I'd say fooled him, but it got in on Limesand a little deeper than he was hoping there. I think he had to kick the pad out.
Oh, it fooled him. It fooled him. I mean, the guy was looking to the center guy coming down in the slot, and he just all of a sudden fired it on net, and he did catch him by surprise. Boy, somebody had been coming down the slot, Jay, they would have had a gift right on their stick.
And that's why Benilde just wasn't going to take any chances. Just cleared it immediately. Yeah. It ended up being an ice, but that's okay in that instance for sure. Sauer trying to get that puck freed up. Gavin Reed back to plate there for BSM. Now Ryan Guerin getting it ahead. Tip loose though. Wayzata's done a pretty good job of stepping up at the right time to interrupt a few of these rushes. Here comes Sarsland in, down he goes, no hand going up.
He was not tripped, he was not tripped, it just came right up from under him.
Tip down deep. Trojans able to get it and go here. Long rink wide pass is too long, but it might come in on Limesand, and it does. And then things get a little bit rough in the middle of the fray there as Drew Getz was going to the net. Here's the thing where on this kind of a night when we were talking with Coach O'Leary, you know he wants his team to hit and you know he wants them to be physical, but at the same time you got to make sure you're not taking a silly penalty.
Yes.
And I think we saw that right there. Getz, he would have liked to stay in there and mix it up a little bit, but discretion's a better part of valor. He just turned the other cheek and walked away from it.
Well, it's just like your successes and your failures in a section playoff game are so much more magnified.
Limesand the stop on that one from Peters. Back out to Peters. And deflected away there by Marshall. Put behind the net. Yeah, winning a little scrum in front of the net isn't as important as winning the game. And I think that's what every guy on both teams has to remember. I don't mean to say don't play physical and don't protect your goaltender and all that, but just be smart about it.
Don't do something illegal. Play your game.
Lewis tips it ahead. Long pass, Marshall receiving, but then intercepted by Streeter, and he flips it for O'Connell. O'Connell's all alone as he walks in. Ooh, and Limesand had to make a stop there. Streeter had it for a moment, and then he was dumped.
Boy, O'Connell's coming in really nice. He's playing really well right now. You can tell right away. Dylan Lewis also had a heck of a good game against the Dyna too. We'll see how he starts stepping up here. They're going to need him today.
That pass off O'Connell's stick. Red Knights a chance the other direction here. Stewart firing Ingeman the save, and then he has to tap it out of there as he couldn't get to it to cover it, but did a nice job with his stick to direct it out of harm's way. They're confident in Ingeman, but they don't want to be giving up too many chances like that. Here comes Matson. John Matson dropping it over to Streeter. Streeter pinned to the wall there nicely by Ben Thompson. O'Connell comes in to dig it out. O'Connell into the circle, walking in. O'Connell dangling. Oh. And just as he was about to pull the trigger, it was knocked away. Wow, some sweet stick handling there, but couldn't get it on. Now the pass out front is directed aside as rough ride given there to Grant Ellings. O'Connell, feels like this line's been out for a long time for Wayzata.
They have. They have, yeah.
O'Connell finally they got rid of it and sent it in. O'Connell, that would have been a goal of the year type play if he'd been able to finish that one, but
You think he's playing with a little confidence right now, Jay?
yeah, I'll say he walked to the net like it was a practice session or something.
This is my place.
Peters back to retrieve for Wayzata. 8:20 to go in the first. 1-0 Trojans here in this Section 6AA championship. And a move to the net here and knocked away as Ryan Guerin lost it. Getz is knocked down. Looks like they're going to let him play here. It's been mostly pretty clean, but Peters carrying it up the left side, and Limesand will glove that and hang on and get a face-off here. Let's watch this move by O'Connell. He realizes as he picks it up that he's got a little space here. And look at all these moves. 1, 2, 3, and just squirted away as he tried to make that last move.
You really like seeing players, get on fire here at the right time in the sections. He certainly has. And watching that film of the Edina game, he was all over the place. He was fabulous.
Knocked away as they tried to get it out front to Davison there. Bassan controlling here for BSM. Gets it in deep. And kept in by Sarsland. Floating one that goes over the net. Bassan to pick it up. He's knocked down by Lewis, but gets it to the point, and Limesand gloving that one as Ben Thompson got a shot on, and boy, they were looking for a screen, just kind of cutting in front. Take away Ingeman's eyes a little bit there, but he was able to stay with it.
Yeah, both these goalies. It's going to be tough to beat them clean if there's any distance, in the shot, but that was a good shot. That glove had to come out quick. It probably would have missed the net. But nevertheless, don't take a chance if you're a goalie.
Gardner picking it up. Now thrown to the front. Good recovery by Peters there. Peters carrying it in. Had it roll away a little bit, but stayed with it. Now he looks for a tip out front. Big rebound. I think the net looked like it was off, but maybe not. No stick for Limesand. Now the whistle does sound, as the net has indeed come off. Limesand completely lost his stick as they were looking for that tip out front. Peters really did a nice job of not panicking when he had trouble with the puck a little bit.
Yep, great call, Jay. He really did, and they almost had another one with a good setup. Boy, they're hanging around the net. Good opportunity for the Trojans.
Off the draw, Red Knights come out of there with it. And that's going to be our first penalty of the game, as Yakish was hauled down. And so Benilde will go to the power play, and they've got a pretty potent power play as well. Penalty will go against Gardner right here as he gets the trip.
Well, right now, Wayzata's penalty kill is running about 82%, giving up 10 goals on 54 penalty kills. Benilde's got a 29% power play, 15 goals and 53 power plays. Good numbers for both of them. They're okay there and then averaging.
Off the draw, there's Ingeman. The stop. Jonah Mortensen to the backhand, but denied right there. This time Trojans win the draw and quickly flung down the rink. Limesand will stop it here. Callahan picking it up.
That was a big face-off win for Wayzata, Jay. They got it right out right away. It was nice.
You kind of forget, I mean, it's not necessarily the first thing that comes to mind in these kind of games, but face-offs can really tell a tale, especially you get down the stretch of that third period. Close game. Peters up with it, and he will send it down. I think some of the things you're seeing, too, with those guys getting rid of the puck immediately kind of shows the tough schedule they have. You can't afford to be cute with it when you're playing Eden Prairie and Edina night in, night out. The penalty kill part is your main job is just to get the thing out of there, and that's what they're doing.
Well, and we were talking to Coach O'Leary too. He's got confidence in all three of his lines and all three players, but he doesn't want to get in a situation. Well, we got a little rumble going in the corner.
Penalty here against Benilde. Sarsland will be called for it. Lewis is happy. He drew that one as Sarsland wrapped his arm around him. And Lewis might have kind of helped to secure the arm to make sure it really looked like a penalty there. And so now we'll go to 4-on-4. You see the check right there. He's okay there, but then he gets that arm up around the neck.
This always makes for interesting coaching now too. Now you got 4-on-4. And you got to mix and match and find out who's going to rest and create new lines.
Callahan with it for Benilde. Jabbed away from him, but they get it back. Here's a quick shot, but that one hit a skate, never made it to the net on the attempt there from Asher Connolly. Now O'Connell picking it up, slides it around toward Lesser.
Boy, Lesser, the sophomore, just made a nice play in front of the net. He knocked the puck off, and he also blocked a shot.
O'Connell trying to stick handle through traffic. It did not work out. Here comes Connolly dropping it back. Stewart trying to go back to Connolly. It was behind him. Wayzata penalty, about 5 seconds left. Then they'll go to about a half of regular length power play. Yakish picking it up. Penalty is over, so Benilde now shorthanded. Puck knocked away there from Marshall. Played back for Cash and Nave here. Wayzata about 50 seconds to go in their power play. Peters is going to hammer it. Well, try to get it deep, but kept along the wall there. Schneider was tied up. Eventually it's picked out of there by Yakish. He'll lead the rush and offside as he tried to get a pass on. Boy, that one was setting up as a potential great chance for Benilde.
Yeah, they had nice spacing in between. They had the Wayzata defense on their heels, and they'd lost their spacing. Good opportunity, but boy, offside. Oh, that'll give you heartburn if you're a coach.
Red Knights win the draw, get it in. Peters will lead the rush up here for Wayzata. And hit his teammate Streeter at the blue line. And then Streeter knocked down their offside. So only 12 seconds remaining with the man advantage here for Wayzata. Just over 4 to go in a rapidly paced first period. And Dan, obviously we're not quite to full capacity like a normal year would be in here, but it feels like a regular playoff crowd here. Obviously the rules changing the amount of allowed in has made a difference. It's got some noise to it on these rushes.
Yeah, they allowed for 200 people to be in the arena today, and they've got them split into some nice spacing. The middle section is pretty much empty, but you can see how we're doing here with all the fans, and it's great. You miss them. Yeah, you notice them when they're not here. Big face-off here for the Trojans.
Davison and Stewart will face off. And it goes off of the left wing Schneider and bouncing right to Limesand. So we get another draw coming up in that same circle there. Limesand has allowed one here in this first period as Cole Sauer got a rebound goal. Schneider pleading his case saying, hey, it's him, not me. Off the draw again, it goes to Schneider. Back out to the point and a shot ripped wide by Lesser. And then back out to center. Nice recovery by Schneider to knock that one away. Penalty is over to Benilde, so we're back to 5 skaters aside. Intercepted at center there. And knocked away from Yakish. And a takeaway there. Lewis puts it on net and a handcuff Limesand. Now a follow-up try sails over the top. Lewis trying to get it back. Went for Davison behind the net. To the line but not out, and Limesand will hang on. Boy, Limesand really was fighting that one.
Yeah. I'll tell you, they had the bulldozers out there for Wayzata. They had a lot of 6-footers. 4 out of the 5 guys skating on the ice are over 6 foot. You could just see leaning physical. That rebound just bounced funny on Limesand.
Yeah, he couldn't squeeze it with that catching glove, and I think it surprised him that he didn't catch it too.
Yeah, I would agree.
Peters up with it, sending it over to Getz. Getz trying to thread it through to Kasen-Sauer. Getz coming in to dig it out of there. Now a 2-on-2 back the other way. Marshall. And they're offside again.
Oh my gosh. Come on, guys.
Wonder if nerves a little bit in play in this first period. Although we've had good flow and everything. I don't know if it's that. Maybe they're just trying a little too hard to make that perfect play and not gaining the blue line immediately.
They want to get that .12 session. I just pulled his foot back. If he would have kept his foot backwards, he would have been okay.
Sarsland throwing it over left side now to Connolly. Plays it in deep. Peters up with it here for Wayzata. Peters slipped and Sarsland able to keep it in. Peters though back up to get it. Nice pass to Streeter. Streeter to O'Connell. Back for Streeter going to the net and then fanned on his pass as he tried to send it over to Matson. It looked like a pretty good opportunity developing there, but it just got away from Streeter.
Well, Streeter also made a nice move there too. I like the fact he got the shot on the pads low, and what happened, Jay, started bouncing out toward the slot, and linesman, made a nice save to stop it from going there. But that's what I wanted. If you take a shot, hit the net, make the goalie work a little bit, and maybe you get an awkward rebound.
O'Connell turns, throws that one wide. Ellings first to it for the Red Knights, flipping it ahead. Mortensen giving chase. Now Elling's picking it up, drops it back there to Stewart. Stewart trying to turn the corner. Gardner took him out, but Stewart kept with it. Now Mortensen trying to gain control, but jabbed out of there by Lesser. And back out to center it comes. Minute 50 to go in the first. 1-0 Wayzata, our score. And this pass gets away. Jakic back to pick it up. Deflected there by Matson. Now Matson coming in after it. And banked ahead toward Mortensen. Jonah Mortensen. Boy, that was close to being another offside there.
But the physicality of Wayzata, they're taking nice shots and physical hits when they need to.
Knocked back down toward the corner here. Floated ahead for Lewis. Ooh, tried to tip it between the D and go get it. Here's Schneider avoiding most of that hit. Schneider fires and he scores!
Oh my God, went off the D.
Right up under the crossbar.
Did he get it?
Schneider buries it, and it's 2-0 Wayzata.
Wow, just good, aggressive, hard play. They never give up. Puck looked like it was coming out a couple times, but Schneider finally grabbed it and ripped one in. It'll be interesting to see how he got it in. I thought it bounced off the D, but maybe he went directly top shelf. There's a good play right there. Must have taken it off his shoulder. Boy, that's a goal that linesman would like back, Jay. That's a goal he'd like back.
An unassisted goal for Schneider. So 2-0 Trojans, and here they come again. Getz trying to put it out front for Davison. Banked ahead and controlled right back. Oh, and Getz trying to drag it in there. 15 to go in the period. It's been a good one for Wayzata as they are leading it 2-0. Ingeman dropping off for Gardner. Long bank ahead. This is going to be an icing call late. That's not what they wanted. 3.3 to go in the period, and very much an unforced icing too. You do not want to give up a defensive zone draw like this at the end of the period.
No, that was about as bad a play defensively as you could make right there. Just hold on to it, take it into the corner, and don't let anybody touch it, and the period's over. But Wayzata, this has been a good period for them. They've really stood out well. Now it's shooting them 12-6.
Stewart trying to go right to the net with it. And a little backhander at the end, but the buzzer sounds and the period comes to an end here. It was a high-paced first period, and our score after one is Wayzata 2 and Benilde-St. Margaret zip. More of our live coverage of the Section 6 AA Championship coming up here on CCX.
Where's your emergency?
Everyone's on their way. What happened? Your friend's not breathing. She's dead? Yes, please get my mom and dad. Oh my God!
Welcome back here to Plymouth Ice Center. Wayzata, a strong first period. They lead Benilde 2-0 after one here on CCX Sports. And earlier this season, my colleague John Jacobson had a chance to profile Wayzata's Jake Schneider, who got that second goal late in the first period. Let's take a look at that story.
Like a lot of Minnesota high school hockey players, Jake Schneider has played the sport for as long as he can remember. Now the Wayzata High School senior is in the home stretch of his high school career.
Well, it's crazy, just like it's here before you know it, and I mean, I'm only down to like 12 games now. It's just crazy to think about, so I'm just taking it one game at a time, one practice at a time actually, just enjoying every bit of it.
An overtime loss to Edina in last year's Section 6AA tournament semifinals fueled Jake and his teammates for this season.
Yeah, that was a super tough loss for us, and just like all the seniors, it just sucked. And this year I think we're going to be much more ready for it, and that's kind of like our motivation for next year, and we're not going to let that happen again this year.
Schneider is among the top scorers for a talented Trojans team, and his drive to get to this point has paid off.
He's one of the hardest working kids we've had in a while, and he continues to do that this year, and it shows in practice, and it's really shown with how his games came around this year, and he's gotten so much faster and stronger over the last couple of years, and he's putting the puck in the net this way for us, or this year as well, and it's been fun to watch. His motor's always going in practice, doesn't take drills off, and always trying to work on the little things we've been talking about, whether it's asking us questions about the game and stuff like that. So it just seems like his motivation, his compete factor is at a high level every single day.
Part of Jake's nearly daily regimen is finding time to work on his game away from the rink.
I have an area in my garage that I shoot pucks pretty much every single day, so I've been doing that for as long as I can remember, shooting pucks every single day, and then once or twice a week I'll wake up early in the morning and just work on my skating with a skating coach. So
Schneider gives high marks to his Wayzata hockey experience. Says he learned from watching older players in the program.
There's just been like a few older guys that have just been like always fun to watch. Like Max Zimmer was one of them. Griffin Ness was another one of them. Those guys have just like been the guys I've looked up to, and they've just been like real good role models for the Wayzata, and they've been great people, I think.
One of Jake's dreams is to play college hockey. And to reach that goal, he'll head to the North American Hockey League next season to play in Corpus Christi, Texas.
I got to know their coach really well, and I really clicked with him, so that place just seemed like a great fit for me, so I decided I want to go down there. And I think that'll be really cool just to get pretty far away from home and just get a whole new experience.
The Trojans' team grade point average is over 3.6 this season. Jake is a straight A+ student with a GPA of 4.12. With an eye on eventually going into business, his drive to succeed in academics is just as strong as the work he puts in on the rink.
Well, I don't know. I just take pride in getting good grades, and it's just like I enjoy doing school, and it's something you're going to need when you're older in life. So I mean, like, that's just something I take pride in. I enjoy learning new things every day, so I mean, you're forced to do it anyway, so might as well do it well if you're going to do it.
The Trojans will know late next month if their talent and hard work pays off in the form of the school's 4th state tournament appearance in the last 8 years. There is a belief in winning that Jake Schneider shares with his teammates.
I think we have a really good group of guys, and I think we have a good shot at it this year, so I'm really looking forward to that.
Nice look there at Jake Schneider, and obviously a big goal for him late in that period to give Wayzata a 2-goal margin after one. We'll come back with more here from the Plymouth Ice Center. A spot on the Class AA Boys Hockey Tournament on the line here tonight in Plymouth.
Last week, Brandon met a girl on a dating app. One day after work, he finally found the courage to ask her out. No answer. He started to panic. Was he being too pushy? Maybe it was too...
Hey, sorry I didn't respond. I was driving. I would love to go on a date. How does tonight sound?
Brandon tried to play it cool, but inside he knew. A girl so smart, so responsible. She must be a keeper.
Good look at some colorful display along the board dashers there as we get set for period number 2 here. Wayzata leading Benilde by a score of 2-0 after the opening period here at Plymouth Ice Center. Here's a look at the regular season meeting. Again, it was just a couple of weeks ago. That one was over at the St. Louis Park Rec Center. And Wayzata, O'Connell getting a goal there, and Limestone having to make a big stop there for the Red Knights. Good battle back and forth. It was a 2-2 game heading down the stretch, and Wayzata ended up pulling out a 4-2 victory in that contest here, and I think probably that might have helped secure the higher seed between the two with that win too. Yep. Here's a look at the state rankings. Lakeville South at number 1. Maple Grove is flip-flopped with Eden Prairie now, so they're back up to number 2. And Grand Rapids playing in a section final. By the way, we'll have Maple Grove Centennial for you Thursday night live on CCX. Dan and John Jacobson will be there at Maple Grove for that one. And you see Wayzata was in there just at the bottom of the top 10. And Benilde at number 14. The Red Knights were way up in the top 3 for a while. But Ken Pauley, their coach, admitted the beginning part of our schedule was Metro West Conference not the toughest. Yeah. Eventually they played a lot of Lake teams and some other teams that Dan mentioned. And he said it wasn't like we just fell off the map. It was just that we were playing a lot better teams. Yeah. And he felt like it was good for them to, as he said, get punched in the mouth a little bit. And that made them a better team, even though, you don't like losing those games.
Well, it's getting prepared for the sections here, and they did a good job of getting some really good competition and showing here. This has been a pretty good game. They're desperate to get a goal. They can't go down by another one. They got to get the next goal.
As we said, Wayzata advancing here with a win over Edina in the semifinal round. It was funny, the Hornets scored on the first shift of the game. They went up 1-0, but that goal right there, Dylan Lewis, a deflection goal, tied it up just a couple minutes in. And this one was back and forth, and again, the score maybe kind of got away at the end. It was a closer game for a lot of the game than that, but obviously some big goals. The short-handed goal for Wayzata right there was a big one to make it 5-2 by Streeter, and then they kind of went on from there and able to put the Hornets away, and they've come out and played a pretty sharp first period here tonight as well. As always, anytime they beat Edina, they're going to be excited, no doubt about it. And that was actually the third win this season for the Trojans over the Hornets this year. Here's a look at how things have shaped up in recent years. The one thing I kind of like about this is you're seeing different teams win it. I mean, obviously, you got some really strong programs in this, but a couple of years ago, Blake, you had Edina a couple of years beating these two teams in back-to-back years, and Wayzata with back-to-back section championships. It's an accomplishment to win this section. You're not ever going to have an easy time doing it, I don't think.
Well, if you look at it, too, those teams went on to win state championships, a number of them in that listing there who won the section. So, yeah, this is a tough section. It's a state tournament in all itself. And it is nice that it's rotating, that different people are getting shots and stuff like that. Why not? That's what makes the game great.
We'll take a timeout here and come back in just a moment with highlights from that first period, and then we'll jump into period number 2 here. You're watching the 6AA Boys Hockey Championship on CCX. And welcome back to the pick, Plymouth Ice Center, home of the Wayzata Trojans as they lead Benilde 2-0 here in the Section 6AA Boys Hockey Championship. And we'll take a look at some highlights from that first period. There was a goal early and a goal late for Wayzata, and plenty of great action in between. As you get an early shot on net there by Schneider, that line's hand stop. And then a nice strong move to the net by Callahan here. And eventually the puck winds up in, but pretty clearly the net was off first there, as the Red Knights were hoping but did not get it. And then here's a good opportunity that winds up in the net. It was Sauer and then Sauer. Kaysen Sauer the shot, and Cole Sauer putting the rebound away. And then a great chance right after that by Benilde, and the backhander denied by Ingeman. And then another tough chance right there. So it wasn't though the Red Knights didn't have their chances, that's for sure. Great moves here by O'Connell, but the last one, it just got away from him. And then that one really handcuffing Limestone, who kind of felt like he was fighting the puck a little bit in that first period, I thought. And then here's Schneider picking it up, got through a check, that was big, and then just snipes it under the crossbar there. for the second goal of the game with a little under a minute to play in the period. And that one hurt for Benilde. You see the shots favoring Wayzata. Each team took a penalty. They were about a minute apart, so those power plays were each only about, a portion, a minute each, and a half a power play each. So both teams, again, really wanting to stay out of the box best they can in period number 2. It'll be interesting to see. Benilde, I thought overall probably was outplayed, but we saw in that highlight sequence, they did get some pretty good chances as well.
Oh, they did. I mean, it'll be something to shut them out. I don't think Wayzata is going to do that, but I think Limestone wanted that goal back. That was achievement. Now they got to fight back. They need to get on the board and not let Wayzata feel really comfortable and in control of this game, because that's what they do. They put the trap on you once they got the lead.
Off the draw, Red Knights. Sarsland back to retrieve. Thompson was lit up there as he got rid of that one. Lewis laid into him. Now it's Marshall throwing a check for Benilde. Defenseman fell. Now Schneider has Davison with him across, and it's blocked. Good recovery there by Sarsland as the D at the blue line fell for Benilde, which kind of led to that rush. Thrown back in. It's interesting. I think maybe there's a turnover by the Red Knights. Maybe in past years, Wayzata would have wanted a slower game against Benilde, but I think this year they feel like they can skate right with them, and they want this tempo to continue.
Well, the way they played this year, they can play fast and hard and go for the high-scoring game. They've got the troops to do it.
O'Connell's pass off of Lewis's stick, and then he threw it out front. Sarsland up with it, sending it around toward Marshall. And I think you're right, the size of Wayzata at times has been paying off here. There's Limestone gloving that one as lesser. I mean, 3 of their 4 top D that are playing are 6'2", 6'3", 6'3". Yeah. I mean, you just don't see that on every team, but they all can play too.
It's like skating into a bunch of trees as you're going down into the attack zone.
Off the draw, a nice face-off win by Stewart. Now Stewart trying to get it out to center. Pass was blocked though. Thrown wide of the net. Push back down deep. Matson in there working hard for Wayzata, and Streeter jumped in to help him. Streeter up with it here. Pinned to the wall though, and the Red Knights out of there with it. Stewart's pass up the middle. They didn't see it coming, and Nave intercepted it. And then knocked away though. And here comes Stewart fighting through a check. Stewart with a great move. And then tied up, and they couldn't get a shot away. Still in the zone though. Mortensen banked it off a defenseman. Now sends it around out front. That one hopping away. Thrown toward the net. Turnaround try there, but he couldn't get all the way around. Good shift though here for Benilde. This Stewart line with Mortensen and Grant Ellings. Dropped off. Limestone a pad save on O'Connell there.
That was close. He almost didn't get that 5-0 closed.
Red Knights send it in. Up the wall there, knocked away. Nice move to the net there by Mitchell Dockman. Now the shot going wide. Benilde buzzing a little bit here, and the net has come off as traffic in front. Another look at this check down in the corner here. Whew, coming right at you. And then a good strong move to the net, and then the pass coming out front.
Well, the answers back from Benilde are coming a lot quicker. When Wayzata gets a good time in his own, Benilde's been able to answer with another one of their own. They just haven't been able to get that puck over that little red line.
Mason Osberg took a check there. Now Sauer getting it ahead to Getz. Getz throwing it in deep. Sarsland back to pick it up there. That one goes by everyone. Going to be an icing call there. Benilde fans asking did it go right by that D, but he didn't get to it, so it's an icing call against the Red Knights.
No, it's amazing if you watch, Jay. Wayzata's taking an inside-out back checker defense, so they will get in the middle and force you outside. If you notice, the Benilde players aren't having much success in the middle. They're being forced to the side toward the boards. And it really restricts their game.
Trojans win the draw, but then that shot hits traffic out front and a rush coming the other way. Here's Marshall. Marshall putting it out front. It goes all the way through. Then played back down deep. Carson Peters has it hop over his stick. Marshall up with it. Yakish's shot is blocked by Lewis. Bassan dropping it back. Here's Marshall into the circle, fires, and gobbled up by Ingerman. Davison having some greetings for the Red Knights who are near his goaltender there.
Hello, how are you? I'm doing fine. How about you? I'm just doing great. Oh, it's good to see you again. Yeah, there's some angst between these two teams.
Yeah, you almost kind of wonder on the bench of it, Coach, are you sure I can't go out there and hit him again? And Peters' shot deflected up top and out of play.
Used to play with him in Pee Wee's, doggone it.
Coach Pauly, I'm sure not overly pleased with that first period for his team, and looking for more here in this second. Trojans again win the draw, but that one is blocked, and Benilde looking for a quick counter. Ellings carrying it hard up the left side. Ellings circles the net, puts it out front. Mortensen is denied by Ingeman. Great stop. Good patience on that play to wait until he was all the way around and got it to Mortensen, but Ingeman was ready.
Oh, he played that so well, Ingeman did. He never lost sight of it. He was lined up on that play all the way. Nice save. Good positioning again.
Trojans up with the turnover. Limes on the stop. Now O'Connell looked like he was going for the wraparound there as
he would have got
Limes and he was struggling to get back into position there. Good effort by Ellings to take that puck away.
That was a great effort. Where are the rest of the Red Knights? I know they were changing, but come on, get down and help your teammate out. That was a great little check he put down there.
Mason Morey throwing it in, the junior defenseman. His third pair hasn't played a whole lot for Wayzata, but they did expect him to use him some. Banked ahead. Ooh, and there's a check run into there by Getz. We said Wayzata's very big. Getz is one of those that is not quite as big, and he nearly ran into a big check there. Pushed back down deep. Again, Benilde having just not an easy out on most of these times when they pick the puck up deep in their own zone. Long bank pass here. And good recovery defensively. Follow-up try, and that shot is blocked. Morey with two nice plays in a row there for Wayzata. Here comes Lewis. They're offside. Schneider on his right was just in, and Benilde had that happen to them a few times in the first.
I think there's a jinx if you're a team going to the West. You get jinxed once or twice a period. But I'll tell you what, the defensive pinching is working well for the Trojans, and Benilde can't get anything going in the middle, and I mean nothing, and they need that to get some speed up. They may want to reverse a little bit more in the defensive zone to give themselves some breathing space from that forecheck that Wayzata is laying on them.
Back down low for Davison. A little spin move around to avoid that check, but then the puck stolen by Marshall. Taken away by Schneider, and then Marshall got it right back. Schneider gets it back. Sarsland knocked that one down. Wayzata will have to clear the zone here as it's thrown back in. Limesand stopping it there. Oh boy, that one could have been trouble for Benilde as Thompson fell, but he got rid of the puck. And then Sarsland falls. Peters up with it here, floating one to center. Davison trying to gain control. Yeah, I kind of get the feeling that the hitting Wayzata has been putting on is starting to pay off a little bit. There's times you're seeing Benilde guys kind of turning away a little bit, just not eager to be really hit again.
Which surprises me from a Ken Pauly team, but we'll see what happens. They'll regain their composure here.
Long pass into the chest of Streeter, but then knocked loose from him. Back the other way come the Red Knights. Got three guys all up on the left side, though, as they're a little jammed up. Able to get it back out to center and then right back into the Wayzata zone. Gardner Intercepted by Marshall. Luckily for Wayzata, Stewart was still trapped in the zone, or that one could have been a little bit of trouble.
Yeah. Well, and this is the long change period now. Both teams got to go a long way to change their lines.
Freed up as Mortensen pushes it in behind the net. Streeter receiving that pass nicely, but then lost it. Stewart dropping it back. Callahan, ooh, a dangerous one, but they get it there. Tipped in deep. Ellings giving chase. Ellings wins that puck. He's had a couple of plays like that, but then his pass was intercepted, and the Red Knights have to regroup at center. Yakish.
He turned his sole shoulder really nice into the player coming in on him, just blocked him off. A really nice, very simple play, but very smart play.
Ingeman hanging on. 9:32 to go here in this second period. No goals in this period. Wayzata got one early in the first and late in the first, and they continue to hold a 2-0 lead. I think a little stronger period for Benilde, though. They've had their moments here in this second. Lesser ringing it around, and it trickles loose to center now. Getz got away from him and back the other way. Dockman, nice check, but they still advance it. Thrown to the front, it's tipped out high. Sarsland, whoa, a whiff on that one. Here's Getz leading the rush the other way for Wayzata. Drops it off. Here's a shot just over the top from Lesser. Turnaround try, deflected to the corner by Limesand. Dockman picking it up. Boy, the hitting has definitely picked up in this period. Now drop back for Davison, and that one goes just wide. Davison throwing it back in around deep. Lewis trying to keep that puck there, and the Red Knights need a change. They're just going to flip it all the way down. And will be an icing call against Benilde with 8.5 to go here in the second. We stay at 2-0 in favor of Wayzata.
Well, Wayzata's forecheck, Jay, is just so relentless and smothering. Boy, they're going to start wearing Benilde down here in a big way. I mean, playing defense that long in your own zone is tough.
Red Knights win the draw. Callahan spinning away with it. Lofting one up the right side for Marshall. And it's going to be offside, or maybe a hand pass.
Yeah, but you notice now Benilde, all they're giving Benilde is north-south passes going up the ice. They cannot get it across the ice. And now, nobody from the Red Knights is cutting through the middle to give it a short pass with an angle. And they got to adjust that because they got to get some flow going here because they're not going to beat Ingeman easily. They're going to have to get 2 or 3 people in on him to get a puck by him.
Yeah, the passes that draw oohs and ahs are the long ones, but the really effective ones, when you're looking at a whole period, are going to be the tape-to-tape shorter passes that get you going.
10 to 15 feet.
Here's Davison trying to backhand it out front, stolen by Marshall. And Schneider knocked that one down. Even on plays like that, where Wayzata didn't get a shot on net, but they just immediately go to the back check and able to get the puck right back.
Yeah, Jake Schneider went right into defensive mode right away in the attack zone, took the puck away.
Centering pass there. Schneider was the only one home, though. Peters up with it. Now to Lewis. Offside. O'Connell saying, hey, I was good, but linesman says, no, sir.
He didn't convince him in any way, shape, or form.
I think that line was tired also anyway, but they would have liked to at least gotten an opportunity there. Or O'Connell, actually, he had just come out, but the rest of the line wasn't off yet. Wayzata winning the draw here across to Nave. Knocked in by Matson. Now Streeter trying to stay strong in that puck. They ring it all the way around. Mortensen will be first to it for Benilde. Back up to Sarsland. Sarsland banking it ahead. Trying to find Ellings there. Now Ellings, boy, he has shown a great ability to win these pucks.
Yeah, he has. He's really been good.
Now Mortensen gets the pass back, and Ingeman having to make the pad save on Mortensen there. Nice interception by Stewart. Stewart walking in, fired, and missed the net stick side. This line for Benilde has had some good moments. Stewart and Mortensen and Ellings have been impressive.
Got a couple good opportunities. They missed the net on the one on a pretty good shot.
Streeter up with it here for Wayzata. Turns and fires that one way up over the top. Played back down low to O'Connell, trying to go out front, but Stewart got in the way of that one. Now down the rink it comes.
I've been impressed with the way too Wayzata. Usually they're pretty good about getting the puck back to the point on the attack. They've been fighting down low this whole game. They really haven't used the point too much.
Mason Osberg over to Mason Morey. They probably call that the Mason pair there, the third D set. And going to be offside here. Little over 6 to play here in this second period. Still 2-0 Wayzata. Cole Sauer, Jake Schneider getting goals in the first for the Trojans. And so far nothing for either team in the second, although the pace has been very good again. Schneider sending it in deep. Limesen has it get past him. Peters batting it, and then it goes up into the Wayzata bench after deflecting off of Besson there. And that's why it's going to come into the Red Knight zone for this face-off. Officials conferring, and they're both saying, yeah, it went off of a guy in red there. Davison and Besson facing off here. 5:55 to go in the second. Trojans win the draw. Played back down low for Davison. Davison to Schneider, and then, a quick shot on net by Lewis. That was a good attempt. I mean, it wasn't a great angle, but he kept it very low and hard and got rid of it in a hurry.
Well, Lewis, he got 2 goals against Edina tonight. His confidence is sky high too, and when you're feeling that way, you pretty much think anything and anywhere you shoot it will go in, and that was a good opportunity. You're right. He gets that up a little bit. That could have a chance.
Red Knights control the draw here. Mortensen throwing a heavy check. And then Ellings is knocked down. Here comes Schneider. Schneider firing and deflected to the corner. Davison fighting through a check there. Down he goes. Now Mortensen trying to hack it out, but there's Peters right next to him. Boy, you said it earlier. Wayzata D is pinching at just the right moment, and Peters really showing a lot of confidence there to not be terribly worried against an offensive team like Benilde that, I can get that puck.
Well, I've seen nothing that Benilde's doing would make them think any differently. They're going to have to start flying a wing out ahead and try and get him behind that Wayzata D to back him off a little bit, because boy, they really got that forecheck rocking good now.
Trojans win the draw. Now Besson with Marshall. They got a little bunched up. Marshall then throws it wide of the net. Back out to Thompson. He'll play it down to the corner. Thrown wide by Connolly. Marshall first to it though. Took a check but kept it. Now puts it out front. Besson couldn't quite get to it, and Streeter dug it out.
Nobody standing in the middle.
Streeter had that one blocked. Good recovery by Sarsland to jump in, but Streeter gets it back. And Wayzata player slow to get up in the corner. Doesn't have his stick as Matson took a big check. He needs to get off, I think, here. Now the pass ahead. Sarsland receiving it. Could not get around Justin Lesser. They joust for it in the corner.
Well, there's some fight back here by Benilde. I mean, they're hacking and whacking and getting it down the road here, but they're fighting back.
Lesser leaves it for Nave. Got it to O'Connell. O'Connell, that one deflecting wide. Payson Sauer giving it back for O'Connell. O'Connell with a nice move, turns, fires. Oh, and Limesand gobbles up that rebound as Payson Sauer was on the doorstep. O'Connell showing he's dangerous again here. Watch this little move, and then snaps away a good hard shot. And good job by Limesand to not give up a rebound.
Good down. I mean, look at that just skill set of the hands and all that. He's been a magician with the puck so far tonight.
Stewart goes down in the corner, but picked up. And jabbed loose there. Near opportunity created by Getz, but the Red Knights recover and get it.
See, there's another opportunity. Defense looking into the middle across the ice, and all we saw was Wayzata's players in between them. They're just cutting it off totally.
Intercepted there and tipped out.
Oh, no.
2-on-1 chance. Here's Sauer firing, and Limesand the stop, and then...
And that's something that's different, too. Limesand's out of the crease there, and that's finally what he was doing. I've been watching him through most of the game, and he's staying inside that crease too much. He got out on the angle on that one nicely.
Davison and Bisson will face off here. It's 3:08 to go here in the second period. Trojans, it's interesting. They've been winning these draws to their left wing rather than to the point. And it's happened enough times that I'm thinking it's got to be by design, not just working out that way.
Oh, yeah. I mean, when you're down in the corner, that's the easiest place in the attack zone to get it into the corner. Then you can spread it out.
Schneider knocking it down. He has a little head of steam. Schneider, well played by Sarsland, though, forced him out wide.
Sarsland's been a factor in this game for the Red Knights, too. He's played very well.
Grandson of former longtime Elk River coach Tony Sarsland. There's a shot on net. Limesand will hang on and force a face-off here as we're getting pretty late into the second period. 2:30 to go, and it's still 2-0 in favor of Wayzata.
It's been a little choppy this period, too. It hasn't quite had the flow that the first period had, but frankly, that's playing right into the Trojans' game plan now.
Choppy or chippy? I think both, right?
Both, yeah, that works.
I know you meant choppy, and that's true. But also, it's definitely been more physical than the first was.
Yeah.
Fight for it in the corner. That one trickles out of there. Stewart up with it. Finding Ellings.
Oh, man.
And knocked away.
Oh.
Here's Streeter. Streeter wheeling back, avoids the referee there. And nice takeaway in the Red Knights trying to get a little 3-on-2 going the other direction. Here's Stewart. Stewart stick handling. Going to the net, and there's Ingeman the stop, and Ellings trying to jab that puck loose. Stewart is not the biggest guy, but he is impressive. He's a freshman, 5'7", 145, and he's been all over the place for Benilde, number 10.
Not usual to see a freshman out there, their second line center, and taking some key faceoffs too.
Got Sarsland, who is taking the draw. He's primarily a defenseman, but seeing some shifts up front here. Swing and a miss there, now picked up. And just jabbed free, but they can't clear it. Ooh, and Ingeman just barely got a piece of that one on the attempt from Thompson. I think Benilde really feels they need to get one before the end of the second to make it a more manageable deficit heading into the third. Getz throwing it out front, and Payson Sauer was tied up. Red Knights coming back, but again jabbed free. They've just had a lot of trouble getting through the neutral zone or even to their own blue line at times.
They just got to get away from their own boards. Gee. Give them some really open ice to skate on.
Thompson dumping it in. Nave back to pick it up for Wayzata. A little over a minute to play. Ooh, Nave, a bad turn there as he was checked. Thrown out front by Marshall. Oh, and a great opportunity there for the Red Knights as Sarsland was in deep on the forecheck, and Nave made a little mistake. Now here's Schneider, a follow-up, and it's off the boards and covered by Limesand. Schneider got a pretty good look there, but missed the net. And then the hard carom came back to Carson Limesand.
Well, you see the shot get in here, and Limesand just gets a little to the point where he can't get back, almost covered. He got a stick back there, but. And of course, there were some friendly, party group meetings going on in front of the net.
Davison will take this draw against Bisson. And they're getting things resorted out with that net. Obviously, there was a little activity around Limesand after he dove on that one.
Well, you can tell the game's physical when the net's been knocked off as much as it has during this game.
Trojans again win that draw. Red Knights trying to work it up the wall, but Gardner blocked it. Banked ahead. Marshall fighting through Gardner there. Gardner, though, winds up with the puck. Floating it up to Lewis. Tried to go to Schneider. Schneider now will pick it up. Davison going to the net. Schneider fires. It's underneath Limesand. Oh, and he got some help from the D. It was right at his skates, and he wasn't sure where it was.
Yeah, there were 4 Trojans on that rush that last time. The defense had to get back to keep it in the zone, but boy, Benilde's got to take a good look, man, and put something together for the third period. I'll tell you, they got to get going. I think flying a forward or something is going to get it going, but they got to break that Wayzata defense tension.
So no scoring in the second. Our score remains 2-0 in favor of Wayzata. We'll continue with more of the Section 6AA Boys Hockey Championship game from the Plymouth Ice Center here on CCS.
Last week, Brandon met a girl on a dating app. One day after work, he finally found the courage to ask her out. No answer. He started to panic. Was he being too pushy? Maybe it was too...
Hey, sorry I didn't respond. I was driving. I would love to go on a date. How does tonight sound?
Brandon tried to play it cool, but inside he knew. A girl so smart, so responsible. She must be a keeper.
Welcome back here to Plymouth Ice Center. Wayzata leading it by a score of 2-0. Earlier we saw the state tournament appearances for these two teams, and Wayzata, of course, one time capturing it all, and that was back 5 years ago in 2016. And we revisited that championship on CCX, and here's a look at that story from a few years back.
Down 2 goals to Eden Prairie in the state final and facing a 5-minute penalty kill, Wayzata head coach Pat O'Leary called a timeout.
You know, people always talk about the timeout during that game and ask what we were talking about, and I tell people the same thing every single time, is we kind of calmed everybody down, and Amar, who's actually here today, just said, you know, he kind of took the onus of the seniors, took it a little bit of blame, and just saying that they weren't playing up to their potential.
Everybody was thinking that this was it, and, you know, our heads weren't really in the right place, and going back earlier in the season against Tonka, we had the same thing happen to us, and just kind of sparked a memory and just said, hey, we got this, we've been through this before, we just got to calm down and get back to our game. And that's pretty much what I said.
The Trojans stormed back, scoring a shorthanded goal followed by a 4-on-4 marker that tied the game at 3.
Obviously, there's going to be a little bit of a panic when you go down, like, I think it was 2 goals, and you have to kill some 5-minute majors. There might be some panic there, but we quickly got to the drawing board and had our leaders kind of just calm everyone down. And they just led. They were unbelievable the whole season, especially in that last game.
Wayzata had come to the brink of a state title with a team that was deep and never got rattled. The Trojans rolled 4 lines that season and had a solid core of offensive-minded defensemen. In the state tournament, 17 players registered at least 1 point.
You look at the playoffs, it's like we had our 4th line guy score a couple goals, we had 3rd line guy score a couple goals. So it was good. I think what it does is it kind of creates a little bit of inner kind of, competitiveness, I guess, where it's like, oh, you're going to get one, and we're going to get one, on every line, and just everyone's kind of it allows you to pull the same rope, I think, and then that just helps you in the overall game.
When we get scoring from our 3rd and 4th lines, would pump up our first and second lines, and then they would go out and score like 3 or 4 more goals. So it was just awesome to have that depth, because it would just keep keep everyone going.
And it was all anchored by senior goalie Alex Schilling. In the final seconds of the semifinal against Stillwater, Schilling's save preserved a 1-goal victory.
Schilling was unreal, and I'd say probably 95% of it was on Alex, and that was very key.
Wayzata completed its comeback in the title game when junior defenseman Logan Lindstrand scored to put the Trojans up for good at 4-3. It was a historic season and a title run the boys on that team will never forget.
Quite a moment. I'm sure the folks who are around on those teams are never going to forget that, and every time they come into this rink, they of course get a chance to look at that championship banner and bring back some great memories, and they're hoping to continue to contend for titles this season and in years to come as well. 2-0 Wayzata over Benilde through 2 periods. We'll take a timeout and come back with more here as the teams battle for a spot in the state tournament.
Honey, what I think you need is a socket wrench.
I played JV basketball.
I'm sorry. I don't think it looks right.
This is good, and it's all good, baby.
Is it really all good?
If you love me enough to routinely test your handyman skills, not to mention the strength of your marriage, then of course you'll visit nhtsa.gov/therightseat to make sure I'm in the right car seat.
I'm gonna call my dad.
When I was growing up, my mom was extremely tidy. We were trained to put things back where we got them from. One day, when I walked into my mom's house, I felt like I walked to someone else's house. There was stuff everywhere, and just growing up the way I grew up and to see this transition was very alarming.
When Sean talked to me, it was a wake-up call, and that's when I went to the doctor.
Well, a couple pretty good programs here as you get a look at Benilde State Championship in 2012 in AA, and Wayzata, as we saw a moment ago, 4 years later, capturing a championship in 2016, and obviously they've had other years where they've been in contention as well. And this year, Benilde, 93 goals, but it may be even more noteworthy just because of, knowing their history, how they've always been a high-scoring team, only 48 against. And Wayzata had a great margin as well, especially considering the difficult schedule that they play, and both teams with 5 losses coming in. But that says that they both played some pretty good teams along the way too, because these are definitely a couple of high-quality clubs. Second period, no scoring. Doesn't mean there wasn't some action though, that's for sure. Nice job by Stewart here, going to the net, drags it around the D, but then just as he was about to shoot, took a hit. Red Knights had a couple pretty good shifts going in a row, and Ingeman has been very solid in net. Here's the opportunity out front for Mortensen. That might have been their best chance of the period right there, and Ingeman was ready. And at the other end, nice pass ahead, and Limesand just getting a piece of that one. And then it's Schneider down to Lewis, and a nice stop. And that's the shot by Limesand there, and then another opportunity to work it off the wall. O'Connell firing in close, and no rebound given, or that one could have maybe been a goal right there. Limesand thought had a little bit better second period maybe than first for the Red Knights. And then here's Stewart again coming up with this puck, going to the net, backhander there, but Ingeman making the stop. This one took kind of a bad bounce for Benilde, and Schneider ending up with an opportunity. Missed the net, and Limesand out for sprawling to get out on top of it. And then another one later in the period. That one nearly got through him as it was at his feet. Those are the kind, when you're the goaltender, you're just grateful you don't kick it in yourself, because it was right underneath us in front of his skates there, and he wasn't sure where it was for a moment. See, the shots through 2 periods, Wayzata has doubled up on Benilde and had a slight edge, I think, in the play in the second as well. Definitely had the edge in the first. We'll take a break here and we'll come back, get set for what should be a great third period. Wayzata 2, Benilde nothing in the Section 6AA Championship.
If I could be you, and you could be me for just 1 hour. If we could find a way to get inside each other's minds. Walk a mile in my shoes. Walk a mile in my shoes. Well, before you abuse, criticize, and accuse. Walk a mile in my shoes.
Welcome back here to Plymouth Ice Center. I'm Jay Wilcox along with Dan Fick, and thanks for joining us. Section 6AA Boys Hockey Championship. And Wayzata with a goal about 2 minutes into the game, and then a goal in the last minute of the first period, and that's all we've had for scoring so far. Trojans leading Benilde by a score of 2-0. And I think if you're Pat O'Leary right there, you don't want to let up on the gas in any way, shape, or form. They just, if they play the style they've been playing, they have a good chance to close out this win.
I just love the intensity in Pat's eyes as he's talking to him about, how important this is. You got 17 minutes, and you get to go to state. Stay on it. Stay focused.
Yeah, you don't really want the thought creeping in about, how much fun is it going to be to celebrate, or how much fun is it going to be to go to excel. When you get down to, the final seconds of the game, that's when you can start to think about that. But for their team or any team holding a lead like this, and now is not the time to relax in any way, because Benilde obviously could very well come back in this one.
Well, they've got some tremendous scorers on that team, and Wayzata can't let up one bit. It's only a 2-goal lead. That's a tough lead to hold on to, and it's kind of a hockey superstition, but I've seen it so many times. You get 1 goal, then you get the tying goal.
Off the draw, chopped in. Peters will pick it up for Wayzata. Has to turn back. Red Knights getting real aggressive, sending a couple guys on the forecheck there.
Yep.
Here's O'Connell. Pass was tipped as he tried to go across to Streeter. O'Connell picking it up again, walks out of there with it. O'Connell to the point now. Lesser. They look for the tip, it deflects to the corner. Streeter picks it up. Matson turns and shoots. Limesand to save, the puck's loose. Limesand trying to cover it, and now he gets to it. It squirts out later, but the whistle had already sounded. As Matson turning in that circle and just getting one on net there. Wasn't terribly likely to go in on its own, but that's where you're looking for the rebound.
Oh, there's my thought. He gets it on pad low, rebound comes out, and here we go. You got a nice opportunity there by Wayzata. They're aggressive. I think they're taking Coach O'Leary's words to heart here. They're going after it hard. One more goal could put the dagger in.
Case and Sauer freed that puck up with a check. Now to the point it comes. Limesand the stop there on Nave. Red Knights trying to get it going the other way, but instead a takeaway. And a goal! Yeah. Sauer will get his second of the night as the Red Knights turn it over and Sauer was in alone against Limestone, and he wins the battle.
Well, that third line has really come out and played well for the Trojans. Second goal, big time pressure. Did a nice job, just relentless, and finally got a turnover. And that's the first clean turnover I've seen in the game, Jed.
Yeah, Benilde, they were ready to go back up ice, and instead it winds up with Sauer, and he makes no mistake. How about this, Dan? A guy centering your third line, one of your captains, 3 goals coming in, and he gets 2 so far in the section final.
Yeah.
You love those kind of stories.
Yeah, it's the next biggest game of his life, and he's really coming through. And Pat talked about the next guy up, the next guy up.
Oh my goodness, Schneider was robbed by Limestone as they almost got another one. Schneider was alone in front, and Limestone somehow got a piece of that one. Boy, if it had gone from 3-0 to 4-0, that one really might have been it. Schneider, I'm sure, is thinking, how did that one not go in?
Oh, no kidding.
Coming up big. Now here come the Red Knights. Bassan over to Marshall, and that one deflected up and out of play as Lesser did a good job. Here's another look at this opportunity as Lewis set him up. Oh, and he kind of put it back into the body of Limestone. He didn't hit the corner like he wanted to.
Got up on edge on him, and he tried to scoop it, and it just flip-flopped on him. But, boy, they're going at it. They're like sharks in, bloody water right now. They're sensing it. Really going after it.
Bassan tried to go right to the net off that draw. Now floating it toward the front, but a turnaround try there, and Engelman got a piece of that. Out to center it comes. Thompson will throw it, and that one gets out of play.
I think a couple of things, though, too, now that Benilde's got to be aware of turnovers. Don't be afraid to ice it to begin with, because these turnovers are costing you. Secondly, they got to start knocking some of these Trojans down in front of that net. I mean, they're walking in front of there like a ballet dance, Jay. I mean, you got to start putting them on their backside a little bit.
Lesser throwing it in. Back out to the point. Ooh, and that one off the shaft of the stick there of Limestone and up into the netting. We'll get a face-off coming up. And well, I think our question was answered to start the period. Is Wayzata going to lay back?
Yeah.
I would say no, based on what we've seen, right?
Yes, emphatically, actually. Yeah, no question about it. And there's Pat going, good. All right, now we're working. Now we're getting her done.
That save that Limestone made after the goal, though, could still turn out to be big. I mean, yeah, it's 3-0. It's right now feeling like that's going to be a long hill to climb, but if he hadn't made that save at 4, I think it would have been over. Here comes O'Connell, 3-on-2, putting it out front. Just a little too far out front there for Streeter.
Well, we forget that the Red Knights have scored 93 goals this year. So they can put the puck in the net pretty quick if they have to. And I think that's why we saw the intensity in Coach O'Leary's face.
The Red Knights trying to do what they can to really get this to open up and be more of an end-to-end game now. To just, even though that might mean some more chances for Wayzata, they know they need to generate chances. And at this point, there's nothing to lose. They're going to be taking some chances, some home run passes and all that.
Yep, you're going to send your D in, and they're going to start. Oh, there we go. Oh, no.
Tip loose. Case and Sauer chasing it down to the net. Oh, and Limestone squeezes it. Did it go in?
No.
I think so, but no.
No. Swallowed it pretty good. Good play by Limestone there. He just did a nice job bearing down on him, coming from the side. He's out of the crease. Nicely played. Cut down the short side, did a really good job there. He's been tested big time tonight.
Off the draw, Wayzata winning it. Peters jumped in, flipped it to the middle. Now coming out with it is Ellings. Ellings dropping it for Stewart. Nice stick handling there for Stewart. Bringing it back out, and that one goes wide off the stick there of Yakish. Back for Yakish at the point here. Off some skates in front, and flip right back out. Yakish controlling it again here for the Red Knights, but they are now down 3-0. Stopped in behind there by Engelman.
Nice.
Lewis back to gather it for the Trojans. Now Peters. Peters will flip one in. Bounces wide of the cage there. Schneider throwing a check, trying to free that one up. Lewis jabs it across. Davison going in after it there for Wayzata, but nice hands by Marshall to get it out of there. Good step up though by Lesser.
That was pretty risky too. I'm not sure we want to do that if we got a 3-goal lead, but Lesser did a nice job getting it, making sure we got back down the zone.
Davison takes a hit, but the Trojans keep possession. And a stick save there as Nave fired from the point. Limesand knocked it away, and guys jousting a little bit behind there.
Well, we've had some instances of chippiness. We'll probably see some more errors. It gets more and more frustrating depending on how it goes, but
Red Knights win the draw here. Now back over to Marshall. Marshall had it jabbed away. Picks it up again, but he's being bothered there. Now Streeter up with it. Wayzata's won a lot of these one-on-one battles for the puck all night long.
Yep.
Here comes Sarsland. Firing, and Ingeman makes the stop. He'll hang on, and Gardner was there to shield his goaltender a little bit, not let the Red Knights get all the way through to the net there.
But remember too, now Wayzata, basically all they got to do is just flip it out of their zone. So they really got to play a third of this rink hard. And if they put it down deep, make them go 200 feet every time. And I'm wondering, Jay, if the physicality of the Trojans is wearing them down a little bit.
Getz leading the through a nice stick to knock that one down, and the follow-up try was blocked. Getz takes a hit, but got it behind the net. Kaysen Sauer jumping in. Let Benilde able to control it and rush back the other way, but so many times what looks like the start of a promising rush is broken up.
Yeah.
Now here's a pass back. Ooh, it deflects off of Sauer. That was a bad bounce for Wayzata as it came right in on the goaltender. Kaysen Sauer was back checking there and trying to break that one up, and it just went off of him and take a big bounce there into Ingeman, and then going to the net was Dockman for Benilde.
Well, you see 4 Trojans there and you see 2 Red Knights, but still the bounce was weird. But the Trojans again had that middle. It's like, it just bounced but bad for them. There's a break that the Red Knights could have used.
Ingeman sure hasn't been tested as much as Limesand, but he's been very solid between the pipes for Wayzata here tonight. Sarsland turning the corner, goes to the net, and he scores!
Oh boy.
Well, Benilde is not done yet. Tristan Sarsland, a great rush up the left side, got his shoulders turned and tucks it past Ingeman.
Well, we talk about pushing hard, and we talk about pushing your D up, getting them involved, and Sarsland's actually been doing it pretty well all night. He's been moving the puck in the others a little bit. He makes a nice move here. Comes down the left, just gets some momentum, comes in, gets that long frame around, and then that big reach, let him get that puck through the gap before it got closed. Big reach here, then another big reach there.
So it's a 3-1 hockey game. Still a lot of time to go too, just about 11 minutes. And now I think back to what I said to that save Limesand made when it was 3-0 and just about became 4-0. That one really kind of kept them in the game.
That was big for the Red Knights. Now we'll see how they react to it. Is this going to give them some big mo or no?
Knocked ahead. Oh, here's a chance. Bassan up with it. Just couldn't get it out front, though. Great recovery defensively. Gardner was all alone, but he made the play.
Oh, my. What a great defensive play that was.
And the puck flipped up and out of play here. Another look as they made Peters actually made kind of a bad gamble, but Gardner saved him.
Boy, Gardner did. It was a great thrust move, but he got everything in front of it to make sure that pass didn't get around. Great play.
Red Knights coming again. They're offside.
Well, you pointed out earlier, too, this period, they're coming in with a two-man forecheck, 2 men on the puck at all the times, and we'll see if it can create some turnovers for them.
Thompson sliding it back across to Sarsland, who just got Benilde on the board a moment ago. And dump back out. Sarsland will regroup and go again across to Mortensen. Mortensen returning it here just off Sarsland's stick. And he is knocked down back out to the point. Thompson has plenty of space. Sarsland firing. That one skips to the corner. Boy, the complexion of this one has changed quite a bit.
Yep.
Benilde is buzzing right now. They're still down 3-1, but they certainly have a lot of life left. That pass back to an open point as they were changing up. Yakish ran into traffic. Schneider coming back the other way. Schneider with the backhand. Limesen the save. Ooh, and then the rebound. Davison gaining control. Davison took a hit. Got it to Lewis, though. Lewis turns and fires. Limesen the stop there. Lewis gets it again. Turns and shoots one more time. Puck loose on the rebound. And Gardner's shot deflects up and out of play. We'll have a face-off in the BSM zone here with 8:56 remaining in the third. 3-1 Wayzata. Wow, this one's a great hockey game.
I'm getting cricks on both sides of my neck from watching ends when they were putting pressure on. Pretty back and forth. But with regardless of that, Benilde has got some jump now. They feel a little more confident in their game. And this is where Wayzata is trying to stand up and just take it right out of them again by keeping a sustained forecheck.
Schneider getting that shot on net. Limesen the stop. Red Knights win the draw here. Sarsland looking to bank it long and chased down. Marshall jumping in to help Connolly there. Now Schneider able to get it out. Bouncing puck, but he stays with it. Schneider hard up the right side. Limesen the save, and then it was nearly kicked in by his teammate.
Boy, Schneider got a step on Sarsland there. Sarsland mistimed that turn, and it almost got ugly.
Lewis trying to get to it. And Limesen stops it, and then Lewis is pushed over the top of him. And they'll untangle right there. Limesen might be hurt. He's kind of laying on his stomach. And
well, Schneider will fall right on him.
Yeah, and you'll see it again here.
Or Lewis will, sorry.
Lewis, and he was Callahan. I mean, you want to take the guy out, but don't push him right on top of your goalie. I mean, obviously you can't always control that, but off the draw, Trojans wind up with it. Here's O'Connell firing. Limesen the save, and then the rebound. Karam past Matson.
And Matson had a good opportunity there.
Yeah, Limesen was able to direct it just enough at an angle that it was coming out too fast and furious for Matson to really have a chance to get much on it.
Yeah, it's been good to see, though, in this game, especially in this period now where that face-off winning is so important. If we watch it on both ends, I would suspect both coaches now, you're going to see centers coming in to take specifics face-offs, being in the attack zone or the defensive zone.
Off the draw, Trojans briefly had it, then knocked out. Yakish plays it in deep. Engelman stopping it there. Red Knights, though, get to it. Boy, they're quick to the puck here in this third period. I mean, nothing's coming easy for Wayzata. Their defensemen have been under siege a little bit.
Yes, they have.
Bad shot, knocked down by Streeter. And they get it out. Pass ahead for Streeter here as he tries to chase it down. They're in battle with Yakish. Matson, pass intercepted by Yakish. Here's Mortensen. Had it knocked away though, and the Trojans Gardner up with it. Streeter will tip it in and head off on the change here as we approach 7 minutes to go. 3-1 Wayzata our score. That pass too far. It's going to be icing against the Red Knights there. And so we'll come back into the Benilde zone here.
Yeah, we'll probably see some more of these icings now, Jay, as they try to open up the ice and click on that home run pass.
They got themselves on the board with still, a fair amount of time to go, but now you're again thinking that we've got to get one more here to pull it to manageable distance again if they can get it to 3-2. And that one hit somebody on the Red Knights bench, I think, and have a face-off coming up.
Yeah, it changes the complexity. They can get one now. Now they got even more confidence, and now, pulling your goalie and all that becomes a little bit more, strategic but better, but you don't have to be out that long like at 2 minutes or 2.5 minutes with a 2-goal, you're down 2 goals.
Off the draw, push back toward Lime Sand. Here's Peters firing, puck's loose in front, Karam's off a skate, and Lime Sand's going to cover it up. I don't know if it ever made it all the way there, but it was still kind of a scary one if you're the goaltender there.
Oh, yeah. Well, one interesting note that Wayzata is a -1 goal differential in the third period here. They've been outscored in the third period by their opposition, so I don't know, maybe they will give an opening to Benilde again.
Lewis shooting, missed the net there. Gardner out to get it. That one is blocked by Sarsland. And trying a little wraparound there. They jab at it. No goal. Wayzata protesting, but the whistle had sounded.
I like the Red Knights getting tough in front of the net. Good for them. Trojan was standing there way too long. Nice stance by 5 there. He just said, you ain't coming out here. A lot of times, Jay, in front of that net, it's just a test of wills and strength. I mean,
off the draw, kicked around a little bit here. Now it's Streeter picking it up. Streeter hits the outside of the net with that one. Matson kicking it loose for Wayzata. Now the Red Knights turn and go. Mortensen, that pass though didn't connect at center for Ellings. Wayzata able to play it in deep. Streeter gets to it first, trying to put it out front. And it's chopped over the net. Sarsland coming away with it. Can't get it out though. They'll try and reverse it back around the other way, but Streeter jumping in to get to it. Obviously eating up some time here if you're the Trojans, protecting a 2-goal lead.
Red Knights are getting tired, Jay.
Here's
Go ahead.
O'Connell back out, now to the point. That one off a skate and wide. Matson trying to put it in front, and they'll ice it here.
Yeah, they had to. They were getting tired.
That was a pretty strong shift by that Wayzata line. I mean, it doesn't result in a goal or maybe even a great chance, but they cycled the puck well, kept it in deep, got after it in the corner.
And just taking a little more out of each one of the Red Knights there. Number 5, Ben Thompson, the defenseman, was just, he had nothing left when he went to the bench.
Shot blocked after the face-off win by Wayzata. Schneider getting to it. Now Bisson out of there with it. Here's Connolly. Jab from him, but pushed down deep. Connolly will swing it around the other way. Marshall out front. Bounces up in the air and never really got a crack at it. We're going to puck played by a high stick there. Face-off will be in the Wayzata zone.
Well, it's like you're talking to Coach Pauli, too. It's not whether you get hit, it's whether you get up and hit back. And they are. They've played very well in this part of the third period right now.
Shot attempt there, knocked down. Wayzata coming back the other way. Lewis is just going to fling it into the corner. Schneider gets there, put it out front off a skate. Lewis and Schneider working. Now Sarsland will swing it around, but first to it, Wayzata.
Oh, man.
Lewis throwing a hit there, trying to get it back. Schneider up with it. Or excuse me, Davison. And got that one on net. Now Marshall. He's alone for the moment, and it's taken by Getz. Getz got it out of there. Wayzata trying to hurry up and finish a change. And knocked away as Callahan tried to shoot it. Peters there for Wayzata.
Yeah.
Trying to get it out. They finally do. Bat at the center. Red Knights trying to quickly go again as they flick it into the corner and look to finish a change. Peters will hammer it around. And then tipped out. This will not get all the way down as it's recovered by Yakish.
But you know, I've been noticing, Jay, every time Benilde loses the puck, it takes them about a minute to a minute and a quarter to get the puck back.
And knocked out of there. Naves pass a little too far for Streeter, but Wayzata will get a chance to finish a change. 3:20 to go in the game here. 3-1 Wayzata. The winner goes to the state tournament. Now here's a chance for Streeter walking in. Ooh, and Limesand had to make a great glove save there as he went far side with it.
Yeah.
Streeter got away a good attempt, but Limesand was ready.
Did a nice job. He's still in the game. He's still playing hard. Streeter's had a nice game too for Wayzata. He's been a real force as a power forward there.
Thompson out of there for Benilde, and that second pass deflected away though. They just turned back the rush again. Sarsland now carrying for BSM. He has their only goal. Sarsland again looking to turn the corner. Wow, carbon copy of the goal. This time Ingeman stopped it. Here's Mortensen putting it up front. They score. It's 3-2. Ellings will get it for the Red Knights. This one is not over yet, folks.
I'm watching Coach Pauly in the Red Knight bench. He is fired up. Got the wrist going up and down, the forearms going, yeah, okay, here we go. We're back in the game.
Sarsland almost scored the same way he did a moment ago. And there's Mortensen putting it out front, and Ellings with the deflection. Good vision and then great hands just to get a piece of that one. Sometimes that's all it takes.
Yeah, Ellings with that great move. I mean, he just really fought hard, being off balance, being turned like a pretzel, and just glanced the stick just perfect enough to lift it into the net. Timeout.
Wayzata hoping to return to state. Benilde has closed it to within one, and the last time in the tournament for Wayzata was 4 years ago. Over at Mariucci, they were able to beat the Edina Hornets to win that section final then. That was when Edina was the top seed, but
yeah,
Wayzata winning it by a 3-1 score. And a moment ago they were up 3-1, but not anymore. It is 3-2 here in this one as Ellings getting that goal for Benilde to bring them right back to it. 2:44 remaining.
Well, now we're going to see, Wayzata tighten up. They got to really get it back and restrict the amount of space. Benilde's done a great job, Jay, too, of getting on the net. They're getting red players in front of Ellingson or Ingeman and making them work. So it's anybody's game now.
Fans from both sides on their feet.
Ain't it great? We got fans in the stands. How special is that? I love it.
We'll keep our eye too on, it's a little early, but Limesand, of course, might be called to the bench. Here comes Sarsland leading the rush. Near a collision there, chased back by Schneider. Callahan is going to backhand it in. Gardner, gave it away a little bit there. Back for Callahan, swings it across to Sarsland. And Ingeman the stop. Turnaround try, blasted wide. 2:10 to go. Wayzata clinging now to a 3-2 lead as Benilde coming on. Stewart out of there with it, and Ellings just couldn't pull the trigger before the D got to him. It's going to be icing against the Trojans. A minute 52. Still too early to pull Carson at this point?
Still too early, yeah. I'd wait till about minute 30, minute 20, but wow, what a turnaround, Chad. This is a whole new ball game.
Yeah, they are going to pull him.
They are, okay.
Offensive zone draw, so they're saying, let's go for it now.
Well, he got his top line a little bit of a rest now, so.
And here's an attempt at that empty net right after the draw, but Wayzata misses it, so we'll come right back to where we were there. And a 3-2
nice face-off win.
Score.
Nice face-off win.
Another key draw, kicked loose. Streeter trying to get his stick free to get it, he couldn't. Kept in for the moment, now out. And Connolly throwing it back in. Wayzata though first to it, and they'll loft it out. Nice job to not ice that one.
Ooh.
Matson will ring it around. Minute 20 to go. Red Knights trying desperately to get this tying goal. They were down 3-0. It's now 3-2. Nice step up to break that one up, but still dumped back into Ingeman. Gardner up with it, and we get a whistle.
They didn't get out. Offside.
Yep. Gave him the benefit of the doubt for a moment, but then they didn't clear. So we get a whistle with a minute 3 to go here, and Limestone, they're going to put him back in for the moment. They face off outside the zone here. And Benilde actually had 6 skaters plus their goalie on for a moment.
Well, I'll give him an A for effort on that one, Jay.
Good trick if you can get away with it. And this is going to be icing against Wayzata there. That one was one they'd like to have to do again, I think. It was maybe a little bit rushed. Now Limestone back to the bench, of course, with the draw in Wayzata zone.
Makes a big difference now. He's back in the bench, and they're deep inside the Wayzata zone, so that worked out good for the Red Knights.
Davison and Stewart to take this important face-off.
Oh.
Red Knights win it. Played back down low. Sarsland. Now they come to the top. Callahan shot, and that one deflecting into the corner. Callahan swings it across. Stewart firing. Now that one bounces wide of the net. 35 to go. Wayzata desperately trying to clear it. Schneider first to it, and he'll hammer it. It's deflected away. 25 seconds. Great effort by Lewis to get that puck back into the Benilde zone. Under 20 to go. A slip and fall. Schneider almost knocked that one free. Now the long pass, too long, broken up. Mortensen knocking it ahead. Under 10 to play. One last crack at it for Benilde. Trying to dig it loose in the corner, and we tick down to zeros. Wayzata wins the Section 6 championship.
Wow. That defense clamped down and just said the last 6 seconds are ours. The Wayzata Trojans, and it seals the win. But boy, what an effort by the Red Knights, Jay. Really, it looked bad from the beginning of the third period, and they just kept fighting back, and darn near got her tied.
Fantastic performance by both teams, really. I mean, like you said, Benilde, when it got to be 3-0, you're thinking, maybe this one's over, but they came back very hard. Woo. Made Wayzata really sweat down the stretch, but the overall body of work for Wayzata was strong enough to have built that lead, and they hang on and get the victory. Their sophomore goalie, Will Ingeman, pumped up, their whole team. And in some ways, it's almost more exciting for them to have had to hang on like that. That last second was just like euphoria when it ticked off. If it had stayed 3-0, sure, you're still just as fired up, but what a great game down the stretch here. And so glad that we got to have playoff hockey this year. Obviously, there was no sure thing that we were going to be able to or anything.
Yeah.
And this was outstanding.
Well, and then think about these kids now. It's been a hard year for them to get through all these protocols and do the things and even just be together in a locker room. And now they're getting a chance to go to the biggest high school sporting event in the country, the high school hockey tournament here in Minnesota. And this is a big thing. And, boy, they really worked hard at it. They had a nice end of the season here. They're a hot team. And I'll tell you what, Jay, I don't know if I want to play them in the first round of the tournament.
So the Trojans picking up a 3-2 victory here in this section final. I think our normal ceremonies are going to be a little bit different, I think, because of the COVID protocols. They actually are going to have the guys come out and just grab their own medals rather than have somebody put them around their neck. So it's good that they're at least getting them. And fantastic!
Wow,
performances here and great. Considering the way the season started and that it was shorter and everything, I thought we saw some really high-level hockey here tonight too.
Oh, we did. I mean, the intensity level was there the whole game. Pace was there the whole game. And it was just, frankly, a clash of two systems. And Wayzata's looked very strong through most of the game. But, boy, that last 5 minutes, look out, Lordy. Here come the Red Knights. But that's what section hockey's supposed to be about. And the Red Knights can walk away knowing that they took every ounce of energy they possibly had to try to get the win, and it was a great, great effort. Real grit on that team.
Think back to moments earlier in the game, and I'm sure Benilde's thinking if it's easier said than done, but if they had come with that performance all the way through, they would have had a better shot. But obviously, Wayzata had a lot to do with that as well. And like I said, overall, Wayzata played 3 strong periods. Benilde played a very strong third for sure, not quite as much in the first.
No, they were off their feet, but the bigger size of the Trojans had an effect, and they had an effect through the whole game when they were physical and stuff, and they put the Red Knights back on their heels. They finally got it back again when they got really aggressive, but boy, Wayzata with that system they run, it is taught well, it's coached well, the kids play it well. And you get down to them, it's tough to come back on them. Nice game, young man.
Yeah, Limesend, he was tested in a big way.
Ooh.
He made a couple of really big stops, and more than a couple actually, and
there ain't a dry air in his head. He sweat completely through.
So the Red Knights get a trophy, not the one that they were hoping for, obviously, coming into tonight, but certainly a great season for them, and they have an opportunity to be contending again, I think, in the next couple of years. And now Wayzata will get their opportunity to skate out. I think it's kind of nice, like I was saying, they figured out, I think, some of the tournaments earlier, they just said, we'll mail you the medals. But in this case, okay, we'll skate out one by one, and we're not going to have somebody there to put it around your neck, but it's still an opportunity to be recognized and kind of help yourself to your own medal out there.
This is an important part in a player's life. You remember this. And the feeling you have on the ice after you won a section championship or even a state title, I mean, this is big moment for these kids. And to be able to have it this year, amen. Thank you so much. The other thing, too, this Section 6 thing, I mean, we've been through a state championship game almost, you feel like. Is that good?
Interesting to see where the Trojans will get seeded, or, I mean, if all the favorites come through, I think you could pretty well say they're not going to be one of the top 3 or 4 seeds just based on the rankings and the record. If, the Lakeville Souths and the Maple Groves and the Eden Prairies do end up getting through, probably can't count on being one of those top ones, but.
No, 5 is fair. I mean, I think that's where they'll be graded out. The conference, strength of schedule that they played. But you're right, the top ones, if they get through.
Well, and more so than ever, though, these last few years, it feels like the seeding in the AA tournament hasn't really mattered all that much. We're seeing number 1 seeds, number 2 seeds fall. I mean, there just isn't that much difference between the teams that make it there. And on any given day, you get, a hot goaltender or whatever. I think it's fair to say Wayzata is capable of beating anyone that's in the field, but at the same time, probably most of the teams are capable of beating them on a good day, too.
Well, and we're at a point now where you're one and done. I mean, you got to play it out right, and the intensity goes way up. And you just got to bring the best game all the time, and because everybody you're playing against is pretty good.
Trophy time for Wayzata. They get a chance to celebrate. And unlike at the beginning of the season, they got some student fans able to celebrate on the other side of that glass with them. So congratulations to the Trojans, who will be making their 6th appearance in the state tournament. As we said, begins next Wednesday. Slightly different setup this year. The AA quarterfinals will be Wednesday, March 31st, and then from there we go Friday, Saturday for the semis and championship. Not too different, but slightly different setup for Class AA, as the Trojans having their photo session here. We will take a timeout, and we will come back and grab one of the happy Wayzata players here. It is a 3-2 victory for Wayzata over Benilde-St. Margaret. Stay tuned, our post game coming up here on CCX.
CCX Media is the first place you go for local news and sports. But did you know you can sign up for those stories to go straight to your inbox on our website? Simply go to ccxmedia.org. Click on the subscribe button, and from there choose which notifications you want to receive. Then we'll send your favorite CCX Media news, sports, and city events straight to your inbox. Sign up now at ccxmedia.org.
Welcome back here to Plymouth Ice Center. A 3-2 win for Wayzata as they hang on to beat Benilde for the Section 6 championship. Cole Sauer, one of the captains, comes through. You have 3 goals coming into tonight. You get 2 in the section final. How special was this night for you guys?
It was just super special. My line mates and us, our whole team just grinded throughout. We never stopped believing. We always kept looking forward to the next shift. And it was just a really special group of guys that we have, and we just happy to keep it going forward.
You guys were kind of in control, but you knew they might come back. How tense was it down the stretch there when they pulled their goalie and were throwing some pucks at you guys?
Yeah, but no, it's a really good team. We just had to keep battling and just keep looking forward. We just had to battle through it and just keep our intensity up no matter what happened, and we just worked together as a team and got it done.
Coaches in your program always talk about depth and how you need everybody, and all 3 of your lines, I thought, had moments where you really were doing great things out there. How much of a factor is that with this team?
It's so nice. All of our lines just keep grinding. We build off each other, and that's what is special about this team.
You got a young goaltender, but he was tested down the stretch. How confident are you guys in Will?
We're super confident in him. We love him. He's just amazing, and yeah, we're just really happy.
Obviously for your team and every team coming into the year, we just weren't really sure what was going to happen. It was a shorter season, but is it just as special as ever to get to the state tournament this year?
Yeah, it's super special. It's something we've been working for. We had our mind on it ever since the beginning of the season, and now it's come. It's just amazing.
Congratulations on the win, and enjoy this one and get set for the state tournament.
Yep, thank you.
All right, Cole Sauer, one of the captains for Wayzata, and 2 goals tonight for him as the Trojans pull out the victory here over Benilde by a score of 3-2. And again, they'll get set for the Class AA tournament at the XL Center starting next Wednesday, March 31st. Hope you've enjoyed this one. For Dan Ficken and all of our crew, I'm Jay Wilcox. Good night from the Plymouth Ice Center.